Welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we are reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man. That's it. That's all I got. No, The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
The Handsome Spider-Man.
Also same. Came out 2009 or something like that. And great times ahead. But this is our series of Spider-Man. We already did the OT trilogy. What is it? The OT trilogy was Spider-Man 1, 2, 3.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Raimi's Spider-Man.
2012 is when this one came out.
2012, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that,
Short.
recent.
Yeah.
To say that, it's weird to say that it's, because that's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, that is.
Still.
And then the other one came out 2014.
Yep.
And never heard from it again. So, yes, we are going to be doing these next two. Then after that, we're going to do the present Spider-Man. If that's what we're calling him. I don't really know.
The Tom Hollands.
The Tom Hollands. So, yeah, buckle up, guys. No, this Spider-Man is brought to you by Red and Blue Slushie still.
Yeah.
Again. Not still. Again.
It fits the theme. I'm loving it.
Blue Raspberry Lemonade and Tropical Punch again. Delicious. As always, yeah, it came out July 3rd, 2012. Crazy. But we're in for it. We're in for a ride. So, before we get started with the cast, check this out. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The Gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. All right. Thanks, Keith. Great job. Let's get into this cast. Then we're going to get into the plot. Then we're going to get into some likes and dislikes. And then we're going to get into a meter of some sorts. Of a slushy sorts. Let's see. First up, we have Spider-Man, Peter Parker himself, Andrew Garfield. He's in this one and the next Amazing Spider-Man. Next up, the ever so great Emma Stone.
Incomparable, one might even say.
Fair. She plays Gwen Stacy, podcast favorite. Emma Stone, podcast favorite. She was in Adventureland, right?
Zombieland.
She was not in Adventureland. Yes, she was in Zombieland. That's what I was thinking of. Zombieland.
Yes. I think that's the first thing I remember seeing her in.
Superbad, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah, she was in that.
She was Superbad. I loved her in Superbad. She was great. It was like one of her first movies, if I remember correctly.
Because I didn't see Easy A.
Easy A is such a great movie.
And I know you've said it so many times that I still haven't seen it. I think it's on Netflix or something. I should just watch it.
It is on something now. I don't know what, though. Yeah, I don't know what. But it's on something because I think I just watched it, or I think I might have watched it, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, and then she was also in Double Tap. You've seen that, right?
What?
The Zombieland.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 Double Tap.
Oh, yeah.
Or something it's called. The one movie that everyone loved her in was The Help, but I've never seen it.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, I would never watch it. So, that's just me, though. So, I didn't know she was in The Birdman, though. With Michael Keaton.
Didn't see that either, though.
I didn't see it either. I kind of wanted to see it, but I also knew it wasn't a hero movie, so I didn't see it. Because, he did that, and then he did
Homecoming.
Homecoming, yes. Homecoming was great.
It was.
Can't wait to watch it.
Same.
After these two.
I can't wait to watch that, and also Far From Home, because I only saw that one once in the theater.
Same. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I didn't know Superbad came out in 2007. It definitely did.
Dang.
I didn't know that. That was her first movie. That was, well, she was in a TV movie, but that didn't count.
Mm-hmm.
But that was her first movie. She did Malcolm in the Middle for one episode.
Ugh.
You didn't like Malcolm in the Middle?
No.
Really? I didn't really like it either, to be fair.
It didn't do it for me.
I didn't want to make it seem like I liked it. It was okay. It was okay. I like the one guy. Stevie.
She was in that.
What?
The House Bunny. I only saw that movie once because Megan likes Anna Faris, and I watched it with her, and I think I remembered. Like, oh, Emma Stone. All right, this movie's watchable.
Yeah, I saw Ghost of Girlfriend's Past, but I thought it was funny. Crazy Stupid Love. She was in that. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
You should watch that with your fiance. It's a great movie. Steve Carell, Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, Kevin Bacon. Oh shoot, we just said it. Damn it. What's her name? Red-haired lady.
Julianne Moore.
Yep. God damn it.
I'm looking at the cast right now.
She's in it. Fuck.
Oh, Aunt May's in it.
Yes.
Marissa Tomei.
Yes, Marissa Tomei is in it. Who else is in it? I think that's it.
Josh Groban.
Who does he play?
Richard. Isn't that Andy's brother?
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Groban. Yeah.
Bye, Pam.
Richard. Yeah.
Bye, Tuna.
Bye, Pam. Bye, Tuna. I love it. It's not my wife. No. Yeah, so she's in a lot of things I've seen. A lot of things I haven't also. But are you going to see that Cruella? Do you care about the 101 Dalmatians?
Not particularly. If Megan wants to go see it, I will go see it. I don't really care to see it just because, like, 101 Dalmatians wasn't really a movie that I loved. Like, it had its moments I thought were okay. Like, if you make a Jafar movie, I'm in. Because I thought he was a cool villain. You make, like, a Hades movie from Hercules, I'm in. There's only a couple of, like, Disney villains that, like, if you made a movie about them, I would watch it. And she's not, like, fantastical enough for me to really care.
That's fair. And this also isn't about dogs.
Yeah,
This
like
is
I think
just her
I think
story.
they're like in it. Like I think I saw a dog or two in the trailer.
I didn't think they
but this
were
is like about her.
Yeah.
And apparently people are like, oh, it's like a Joker vibe movie, and I was like, oh, well, then I really don't care.
That's right, you haven't seen it, right?
I don't care to. Yeah. I don't care to see the Joker movie.
It's not a fun watch.
Oh, I've heard that.
It's the opposite of Jim reading the book. It's not a fun read. What was fun about it? The twins dying?
The twins' death? Just watched that one last night.
It's such a good one. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning, says I.
I love it.
Who was the main character? Angela.
Ashes.
The Ashes.
Good time. All right, let's get back to this Amazing Spider-Man. Next up, he plays the Lizard / Dr. Connors. Dr. Kurt Connors is Rhys Ifans. And I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not.
I don't either.
But he's from Wales. So, so I don't know if I'm saying it right. I only know him from The Replacements. You ever seen that?
No.
Football movie. Has Keanu Reeves, him, Orlando Jones, and it's a comedy, and it's hilarious. And it's literally about the football, the NFL, not the NFL, but, you know, the main football league, NFL, quote unquote, going on strike. So they bring in replacement players to keep playing. And Keanu Reeves is a washed up quarterback who played in college and he couldn't cut it in the NFL. But he comes back and becomes a hero. They all go to jail because they fight each other, and they're in the jail. People call it a line dance, but they're line dancing to like a Motown song, and it's the best. And then, I think it was Michael Scott song. Here we go. They started singing Orlando Jones because he's hilarious. At first I was afraid, I was petrified.
God.
It's the best. And then they start singing it together, they become teams, and they win, and it's amazing, and they're great. And he's a punter, he drinks and smokes on the field because he's hilarious. Reezy fans. He's just a drunk. He's like a British drunk in the movie, but he's a great kicker. But he can't kick because he's wasted.
God.
But it's hilarious. Either way, next up we have Dennis Leary. That's with one N. He plays Captain Stacy. Next up we have Martin Sheen. He's Uncle Ben. He is in half the movie. Next up we have Sally Field. She's Aunt May. I like them two together. They were great.
Same.
Next up, Irfan Khan. He played Rajit Ratha. He was definitely a bad guy in this movie. Rest in peace to him. We just found out he died this last year. Let's see. No, don't care. Flash Thompson. We have Chris Zilka. Don't know if that's right, but it's close. Somebody who's moderately famous, not necessarily to us, but he plays this guy named Jack's father. Jack is a little boy who gets saved by Spider-Man. The kid's real name is Jake. They call him Jack. Sometimes I don't understand. I wish I could write movies because, like, why are we using certain names? Like, I get it.
Right.
But for people who kind of don't matter, why? But also, I get it. But C. Thomas Howell, he's part of the Bragg Pack. He was in The Outsiders. He was in E.T. Okay. So, yeah, good for him. But he's a pretty famous actor. Let's see. Next up, if I can, is Stan Lee. Stan Lee plays a school librarian.
There
Such a great
is.
scene.
He almost died in that scene.
Yeah, but he got saved by Spider-Man.
Of course.
Good for him. That table would have took him out.
Oh, he would have been so dead.
Let's see. After that, we have a special uncredited guy. He was in the last 3 movies by the name of Michael Papajohn. He played an uncredited driver of an uncredited driver named Alfie. And that's it. And I think he died off screen. Because
Almost definitely.
a lot of people were dying off screen. Or at least he ran away and forgot the person he was driving.
Let's hope that he ran away, because otherwise he is dead.
So, yeah. So, that is it for the cast. Let's go to the P-Lot. Chris.
Oh,
P-Lot.
okay. All right. Amazing Spider-Man starts out with young, like, child Peter Parker playing hide and seek, or he thinks he's playing hide and seek with his dad. And he's running around the house, and he pulls the curtains back. He sees some shoes under the curtains. He pulls the curtains back, and it's like a broom standing up with some shoes on. That would freak me out if I was a kid, probably.
Hilarious.
Goes into his dad's study, sees like a broken window, calls his dad in, and the game gets a little too real. Dad pulls the curtains, and a whole bunch of serious stuff seems to be happening. Young Peter Parker doesn't understand it. All he hears is that, hey, you're going to be living with Uncle Ben and Aunt May for a little bit, which turns out to be the rest of Uncle Ben's life.
Yep.
You're going to stay with them for a minute. And we cut to Peter Parker in high school. He is a photographer. He is kind of a nerd, social outcast. Like, he doesn't seem to have any friends. He doesn't seem to have anybody he's close with. He gets bullied. He stands up for people who are bullied and then gets himself more bullied. He's got a high school crush who doesn't notice him. He's a genius in science and engineering. He's a smart kid. and he likes taking photographs for the. I don't even know if it's for the paper. No, it is for the paper, I think.
Probably the yearbook.
The yearbook, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said he had a debate club photo in there, in his computer. So he's living his normal high school life. They go on he gets a. He comes home from school one day, and Uncle Ben is having problems with, is it a freezer or a fridge in the basement?
I don't know.
I think it's like one or the other, like a mini fridge or like a chest freezer or something in the basement is leaking. They discuss, how to fix it. Peter, it sounds like he's the one counted on to fix things around the house. Says, I'll pick up the parts tomorrow. And they're like, oh, let me know if you find anything down here worth saving. He finds a leather briefcase that used to belong to his father. Pulls some stuff out of it. Oh, there's like a calculator, a bunch of nonsense. Like, oh, that used to be your dad's. And they look, Aunt May and Uncle Ben look a little freaked out to see it, to be honest, when he first pulls it out and puts it on the table. Like, oh, that was your father's.
The jig is up.
Go to your room. So, they see it and they're like, oh, that thing, that used to be your dad's. Hey, let's eat dinner. Go wash up. So, fishes through it, seems a little suspicious. Finds some papers, sciencey stuff. Mm-hmm. Nothing too outrageous. It's like a calculator, some other stuff. And he's shaking it around, and he takes everything out of it that he can see. And he's shaking it, and he hears like a paper in there. He finds like a back zipper pocket, undoes it, and finds like a folder with some suspicious looking stuff in it. Equations, sciencey stuff.
Suspicious to me.
Right up his alley.
Yeah, right up his alley, though.
So, it has something it said, what was the wording on it? Decay.
Something decay rate.
Decay rate algorithm.
Something like that.
And he's like, I don't know what this is, but he solves it, figures it out.
Of course he does.
And goes to school like normal until. How does it happen? The photo. Yeah. There's a photo also in the briefcase of his father or both his parents with his father with Dr. Kirk Connors, who he finds out through the school and everything is being funded by Oscorp in like a tower lab downtown. So through the school channels, he learns about like an intern. He goes there, finds out they have like internship badges. He just takes one. Oh shit! Who does he pretend to be?
Rodrigo
Guevara. Yes, he takes the badge, pretending to be Rodrigo Guevara.
Gracious.
And immediately, of course, the real Rodrigo Guevara shows up and is dragged screaming from the building because no one believes anybody.
Because the only thing they have is just a name tag. Your name tag's not here.
With no photo ID, just a name.
No computers, just a badge.
If you're not on it, you're out of here. So
if the badge isn't on the side,
I send it back. So Peter gets the badge.
Hilarious.
And you find out that Gwen Stacy, his high school crush, is like an intern there, and she's leading the tour group around. And he finds out they're doing like cross-species genetics. He gets to get some FaceTime with Dr. Connors. They learn about cross-species genetics, and he can kind of get him, not really like get his foot in the door, but kind of gets his foot in the door talking to the guy about science, and like gets his name and like, all right, I'm smart. We should be friends. There are reasons to hang out with me. So he also finds a room full of spiders, like genetically altered spiders. Nightmarish. It's the only way I can describe his fucking room. Because he immediately gets like a rain of spiders falling on him. One of them bites him, and the rest is history.
Boom.
Which is to say, Uncle Ben is history. Pretty soon after it happens, like starts experiencing the changes. Like he's on his way home from there on the subway and gets into like a Jackie Chan style accident fight and beats the shit out of a train car of people. Accidentally. Gets home, is like sweating, is very hungry, eats meatloaf and a frozen mac and cheese and a pint of Ben and Jerry's, among other things. even though nobody eats May Parker's meatloaf. Nobody likes that meatloaf.
Nobody does. 35 years.
And they've been married for 30-odd years. How many meatloafs has she made for him? Wonder why he didn't say anything. So, Peter wakes up the next morning with, I mean, he already had superpowers, but he wakes up the next morning with superpowers still. Strength, stickiness, agility, but not organic web shooters. Okay. So, Peter meets with Kirk Connors, goes to his house, meets with him. They, pal around a little bit over science, as scientists probably do. I wouldn't know. I'm not one. I'm not much of a scientist myself.
Same.
So, I don't know what they do when they hang out, but apparently it's math.
Yes.
And then they're like, we should put our heads together and do some shit that could get someone mutated into a lizard.
They saw time travel.
So Back to the Future is bullshit? Great. So, turns out Kirk Connors is missing, half his right arm, from like just above the elbow down.
More than half.
So, the goal of his research is to allow people to regrow limbs. So, this is where the cross-species genetics comes in. He wants to use lizard DNA, reptilian DNA, to help people. Yeah, you can guess how well it works out. He wants to use lizard and reptilian DNA to help people with missing limbs regrow limbs, because it will benefit him personally. Because why else? I don't know why else do you use science other than to help people that like you or yourself or the world, I guess.
Every time we describe villains, I'm like, damn.
Right.
I think I'm a villain.
This man did not start out as a villain.
I'm evil, I bet.
He had good intentions, and then Oscorp was like, you better move this shit along or else we're going to cut your funding.
Cut your other arm off.
Might as well. So he gets pressured into, after Peter helps him solve like the problems with his research, they decide they can fix it. He gets pressured into testing. So they were testing on mice, and then he decides, we got to test on humans. Well, we're never going to find anyone to volunteer for that. Like, well, don't tell them what they're volunteering for. Go to the VA.
Yep.
Go to the Veterans Hospital. They'll think they're getting a flu shot. And Kirk Connors, being a good man, is like, that's a horrible thing. You can't do that. That's inhumane. You're like, well, you can either do it or you can kiss your other arm goodbye. I think he does. I think he says like you can kiss that arm goodbye or something to him.
Yeah, but he was talking about getting a new arm. Yeah. But he also kind of vaguely threatened him. He was like, we're both dead.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Because he's counting on this research to help save the unseen but named Norman Osborn. So, of Oscorp, in case you weren't hip to that from the last 3 movies. So, Kirk Connors has his motivation to get this research done, and Peter's going to help him. Things don't go well, or they go a little too well, because he does regrow an arm, but he also turns into a lizard man.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who would have guessed?
Not me.
Not us. That a Spider-Man and then a lizard man. Who would have thought? So, and let me just be clear, that is in no way a knock at this movie, because I love the lizard. Let me just put it right out there.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. But
so
I can still make fun of it.
That's fair. That's very
well,
fair.
you did, but I can also.
That's fair.
Sure.
So, Spider-Man and Lizard Man don't see eye to eye, because it turns out Kirk Connors is losing himself to this lizard persona, because at first he's like, oh, he just like becomes him and then goes on a little rampage, and then it turns into a voice in his head about how he should help everyone to be like him. And so he gets in his head, he's gonna basically mutate as all of New York City, or as much of Manhattan or whatever the borough they were in, from the top of the Oscorp Labs tower, with a device that would disperse this genetic agent that he's made. So Spider-Man can't let that slide when he's not busy trying to get with Gwen Stacy. he's trying to stop Kirk Connors. And also defying the police at every turn. And trying to find Uncle Ben's killer because I forgot about it. Uncle Ben dies. I mean, we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But Uncle Ben dies. And Peter feels responsible and takes it upon himself to find the man who does it. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Because I kind of forget. Did he find the guy?
No.
I didn't think so.
He was still pinned up. The picture was still because you laughed at it.
That's right, yes.
At the end.
Because I thought he looked like Edge and or Christian and or
As soon as it showed up on the screen, you were like...
Yes, that's why I did laugh. Yeah, so he doesn't find the guy, but he also doesn't get the with great power comes great responsibility line pulled on him in this one. He gets a different responsibility line pulled on him by Uncle Ben.
Fair.
So Peter proves himself to be unreliable at times, irresponsible at times, and Uncle Ben puts him in his place. And of course, the last thing Peter says to him is something mean, and Uncle Ben dies. So,
typical.
Kind of guilt-driven is Spider-Man also, to go out and do things for people because it's his responsibility, it's his obligation. According to Uncle Ben, if you have ability, if you have power, it's your responsibility, it's your obligation to use that power to help people.
Right.
So, Peter's out there punching out would-be car thieves, pissing off the cops, fighting lizard people, trying to get with Emma Stone, as you would. So, eventually, he fights the lizard, stops him, or maybe he doesn't. We'll find out in this episode of Slushie Review. Stay tuned.
That's fair.
There's your plot.
Okay.
I did a little better with that one. I still messed up the Uncle Ben part. But,
great.
I'll get there.
Okay. Let's go to some likes. You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
Sure, you go first.
Okay. I felt the vibe. We weren't going to tag team this one.
Do you want to?
No. That's fine. We can do it this way. It's okay.
Okay.
I just feel like we have very different.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can go first. Though, let's see. My first like is the great Emma Stone. Just automatically. First thing I wrote down, Gwen, Emma, whatever. They're together. They're synonymous at this point for me. I love Gwen. I love Emma. That's it. I really have nothing. I thought she was great. I thought she did a good job. She made me like the character. Simple. Another simple like Andrew Garfield. I thought he was great as Spider-Man. I thought he was a great Peter Parker. I thought Spider-Man was great. The one thing I like about it is, and what I think other people don't like about it, because not a lot of people like these movies, to be fair. I loved them personally. But I think what a lot of people didn't like is how kind of standoffish Peter Parker was. And kind of, I don't want to say nerdy, but kind of nerdy. And then I'm going to explain more. But I think people didn't like that. Me personally, if I'm a social outcast, I'm a nerd, I'm going to get my words caught up when I'm talking to the prettiest girl in school.
Right.
Who apparently likes me. How? First off. Secondly, it's a movie. So he's a good-looking nerd. Got it.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, like how many, I don't know, at best, like unconventionally handsome actors, like male actors.
Fair.
And like unconventionally beautiful female actors are there. By and large, it's like, oh, hey, they're good looking.
Yeah.
Put them on the screen.
And put some glasses on them. Call it a day.
Yeah.
So
put some glasses on them. Boom. Instant nerd. Take them off and they're beautiful. There it is.
Here it is.
It was right in front of me the whole time and I never saw it.
I was thinking that too. I couldn't think of the line. Hilarious. Yes. So to me, I thought like he was so befuddled maybe every time he spoke to Gwen. Every time he spoke to anybody, he was kind of like, here's my thing. If you're going to portray a nerd, act like a nerd. If you're going to portray a social outcast, a pariah of society, act that way. It's kind of, it reminds me of, we did Green Lantern, and the one guy who becomes the villain, he was so off-putting.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of how people act. I know some people who should be more more quiet. And you just name one of them. But anyway, I'm just like, just stop talking. But they talk a lot. They're not like this, and they should be, in my opinion. But that's just me being a dick. But that's fine. I'm cool with it. So either way, I thought he was great. Next up, the spider suit. Spider-Man suit was just delicious. It was amazing. It looked good, head to toe. It was good. The Spider-Man symbol was so good. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, that's the way it should look. Every time.
It looks good.
Every other time. I loved it. I loved it. You said something earlier about the eye pieces of it. Great. The texture of it looked so good. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Well, maybe we should go back and forth.
Oh.
How about you go?
Okay.
I got 3. I'll give you 3.
Okay. First, like the Lizard. He's one of my favorites. One of my favorite Spider-Man villains is the Lizard.
Yes.
He is. I think he's just cool. Like from the old cartoon, the old to me, 90s cartoon, because I didn't watch the old fucking, what was that, 60s cartoon or 70s cartoon?
Didn't even know they existed.
Didn't watch it.
Same.
The 90s cartoon is where I first saw a lot of Spider-Man stuff. And I always thought the Lizard was a sweet villain. Because he did, like they did in this movie, he starts out just like, oh, he's a lizard. And he's just fucking crazy. And he's running around going berserk and shit. And eventually, he, like, talks and has, like, almost a split personality thing going between, for one, Kurt Connors and the Lizard, but also, like, the Lizard sometimes had Kurt Connors' mentality and sometimes had, like, the animalistic, just, like, fuck everything up mentality.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Wait, just question. In with what I remember, were there times where he was just like a professor, like at the school, as a lizard?
I don't know.
I feel like in like the foggiest part of my brain, like I can, the lizard being dressed up in a coat and people being cool with it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just know that like that was his like basic costume in that show was like the tattered lab coat. And I liked it in this movie when he came out of the underneath the toilet, like out of the sewers. He had the lab coat on, immediately like shredded it off. But then again later in the movie, he had it on again.
He did,
and fucked shit up, and then was like, "Fuck this," and took it off. I like the lab coat.
Somebody living in a sewer, you got a ton of lab coats down there.
I mean, he did have a little lab in the sewer.
He did.
But I like the Lizard.
Yeah,
I like the tail looked good. He's like wrapping him up and slamming him around with it. Looked good. The claws, when he had him down and he like the claws just like extended and he slashed him in the chest and tore him up. Looked good. I like the Lizard.
Yeah.
Because I like that
his tail came off.
Yeah, and his tail, he was grabbing by the tail and just popped off. He's like, oh, that's disgusting. Yeah. And as it grows back as he's lunging at him and swats him with the new one. Good.
So good.
When he gassed those cops and then like jumped up on that car with like 2 more cans of it and just everywhere. I like the Lizard. I think he's a cool villain.
Great.
And also I think that he looked like a better version, at least in the face, of the Goombas from the Mario Brothers movie.
He did.
A much better version.
He did.
Like a way better version.
I like it.
Yeah.
Now that you say that,
I was thinking it during the movie, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to save that for the podcast.
Honestly, thank you. Because honestly, that you say it, I think I thought it too. I didn't think it, but I thought, like I was like, this looks good.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
I like the Lizard.
Good. This is why Chris is a talent, guys.
No, go on. No, seriously, go on.
No, seriously.
Next, like Spider-Man. I mean, it's his movie, so why not?
Well, not every movie's like that. But I hear you. Sorry, I'm just picking on other fucking movies.
I really like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As I said, I thought Tobey Maguire was a really good Peter Parker. versus like I thought he was better at that than he was at being Spider-Man. I think Andrew Garfield was good at both. I think he was a little bit better at being Spider-Man because I liked that he was a very quippy and very witty Spider-Man.
Facts.
I wrote it down when he's like, hey, I'm swinging here. He does like the New York accent when he swings like in front of a bus or something. Hilarious. I like that he built the web shooters because I'm a sucker for like the nerdy tech characters like Donatello, like Beast, like Billy, the Blue Ranger, who like build big gadgets and shit.
That's fair.
I liked it when he was like building it and they showed like him setting it off accidentally and it like got in his face and he was like shooting it through the wreath in the basement. I liked it.
No, that was great.
And interestingly enough, I don't hate him. I don't care too much for Iron Man. Like in the grand scope of like the MCU, like I think there's cooler characters than him.
Yeah, fair.
It's like, they're better. Like I still like Iron Man, but I'm like,
I
he's
see
not
what you're
my
saying.
like for like tech characters. For some reason, he's not high up my list. For like nerdy, like techie, buildy characters, he's not high up my list for some reason.
Is it because he has too much?
Maybe.
I think it's because he's
Maybe it's 'cause
rich
he's
and he
rich.
has unlimited resources. So
Yeah.
of course, like
Donatello takes like a fucking Game Boy and turns it into like anything that they need. Like Game Boy, like an egg beater on top of it, and suddenly it's a tracker.
exactly
Love it.
So just like this Spider-Man, like he made that. Yeah, he had to order the web or whatever.
Yeah.
But so did Tom Holland too. He had to order it too.
But he also had, on his own suit, and then he had help from
Well, yeah.
a dead Tony Stark's plane to build a fucking suit and a robot coffin.
But everything was working before the money.
Yeah,
And I agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also Urkel.
He builds a time machine.
Yep. Then I'm pretty sure he made a time machine out of a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yes.
Loved it.
He did.
He did. I think he also made an Urkel robot, if I remember right.
He did.
Yes.
And then he
Urkeltron
also
or
made
something.
a transformation machine.
Yep.
Took those glasses
Stefan
right off.
Urkel. It's almost like he was handsome the whole time. He just had his pants up a little too high. We didn't know. But yeah, Spider-Man, great. The web shooter's great. The scene where he's in the sewers building the web that he's gonna like hang out in and just wait for like a clue to come to him.
Beautiful.
So good. And he's like hanging out in it playing Bust a Move on his phone.
Beautiful.
Great.
So good.
Because all the other ones you just see him like tss, 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 and then the web's there. And this one he's like making the lines and
Tying
like
them
connecting
together.
them. I was like, I like that. I don't know, I really liked it.
No,
and the
I
web looked
agree.
good. I thought it was nice. The fact that he was kind of luchador inspired. Loved it. He was hitting Hurricane Ranas on car thieves. He yelled crotch and then like landed crotch first on that dude's face and whipped his ass to the ground like he was Rey Mysterio Jr. Good stuff. So good. I love that he was witty. The guy pulls a knife and I was like, oh, is that a real knife? Is it? Oh, it's my weakness, is knives.
That was in the trailer.
Yeah.
And
I loved it then.
Yeah, same.
And he's
That's
like,
when I didn't hate trailers.
yeah. I just thought Spider-Man looked good. Like you said, the suit looked good. Like the texture on it, because it was different than the Sam Raimi suit. The Sam Raimi suit had like the raised like webbing design. This one had like for one that sweet logo, and also like he said, he was more from like a sleek like luge spandexy thing. It looked so different and it looked so good. I love the suit and the eyepieces that he was like popped out the lenses of his sunglasses that he was wearing earlier in the movie and put them in there. Looked so good.
Well, since you're talking about Spider-Man, I have a like that's way down.
Let's do it.
But it's Spider-Man related. His spider movements were top notch. Probably the best I've ever seen. When he wraps up the lizard.
Yes. Oh my
and
god.
he's crawling all over.
Yeah.
Him, I would have thought he was a fucking spider.
That was very. Yeah. It was.
And I saw it, and then he's just like hitting him with the thing. He's wrapping him up, and he's crawling over and around him like in a shirt, like
incredible.
Like that's how spiders wrap up their their catches.
Creepy then too, and I liked it.
It was creepy and it was so good at the same time. I liked
it,
and I was like, yes, give me more of that.
Yes,
at least one more movie. That's it, though.
Yes,
but yeah, that was beautiful.
And next, so we're going 3, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You didn't do 3?
I think I did Lizard and Spider-Man.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, you said it, so it's on my list too. Gwen Stacy. She's smart.
She is.
She's got it all, baby.
She's not a liability.
No. When Peter's like, you got to get out of there, she's like, I'm going to save all these people first.
Same.
She, like, pulls the laser fire alarm, gets everybody out of the building, and then when the lizard is in the building, also in doing the fire alarm, or no, she pulls the alarm to get people out, then sets off the fire alarm so that like the doors come down to keep the lizard out. It doesn't work.
As best she could.
But what else was she going to do?
Right.
Well, the next thing she does is she sits in a closet with a fucking makeshift flamethrower in her hand, and it doesn't stop him, but it,
she doesn't
kept her alive.
Yet. She doesn't die yet.
Also, she's the one who made the antidote.
Yeah, she did.
He told her what file to use, but like she used the device. She is a science person in this. Like she knew what she was doing.
Because let me tell you what I would have done.
Any of that.
He was like, go to the, okay, how do I get in the lab?
Like, let's assume. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Yes. But what does he say first? Explain it to me like I'm 10. Okay. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Yeah, like I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, granted, I'll be 6.
I'll be 6. I was trying not to say it. I didn't want you to hear me. I was just quoting the Office.
He says it so quietly. I'll be 6. But yeah, she's smart. She knows what she's doing. She's capable. Also, she fucking blasts the lizard in the face with that big fucking trophy.
She did.
And he's like, I'm going to throw you out the window now. What?
Fair.
And he threw her out the window.
He did.
And she didn't die.
She didn't die. She was super cool about it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, now I need to go to the lab or something.
Yeah. Like he was like, yeah, that's an order. It's like, no, I'm going to save everybody here first.
Yeah, fair.
She was good. She knew what she was doing.
She wasn't a liability like some. That's it.
Yeah.
Shit, even Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3 wasn't a liability.
Yeah.
She was just trying to do her thing. She helped. She saved someone in that movie. Mm-hmm. How many people did MJ saved? 0.
Herself.
Did she?
Maybe.
She almost died a couple times.
From Peter.
Did she?
Saved herself from Flash Thompson.
Okay. But he seemed like a good guy when he came back.
In the scene where he had no lines.
Yes.
And no anything else. The scene where he's in the background. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
All right. Those are mine for now. Your turn for likes again.
Stan Lee cameo.
Yes.
Sam, I knew you'd have it.
Yep. You know it's there.
Yeah, it was good. Because it was quiet. He had on his headphones, listening to classical music. And
he didn't know he almost died.
Didn't know it. And it was great. And I remember watching that scene. And I was like, this is just peak Stan Lee.
Honestly.
Until it gets better. And then it gets better. Like, it's never bad.
I'm never sad seeing... Well, I mean, I'm sad about it now.
Yeah.
But I was never upset to see Stan Lee on my screen.
Captain Marvel and Endgame. Sad both times.
Also, Into the Spider-Verse made me a little sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Far From Home. Was he in that? Or was that the first movie without him?
That might have been the first one without him.
I think so. Because he was definitely in Captain Marvel. He was definitely in Endgame.
Yeah, because he was himself in Captain Marvel. He was reading the Mallrats script on the bus. And then he was the hippie in Endgame.
Yes.
Hey, man, make love, not war.
Sam.
So good.
I personally, I don't even think that was him, though, in Endgame.
No?
No, they don't really show his face like that. They kind of show it, but not.
He is in the Venom 2 trailer. His photo is on a magazine cover or something. You can see it in the shots.
If they did it like that every time, I'd be cool with it.
Right.
Just put him in there. I don't care how.
He was in, did you see Big Hero 6?
No.
It's like a Disney animated movie. He's in that as like that way. Like they have a photo of him
nice.
or like a portrait of him in, the one kid lives in a mansion and it turns out like his dad or uncle like is, it's not even like it is Stan Lee. I don't think they name him, but like, it is clearly Stan Lee. Like he's got the sunglasses and everything. But it's just a big fucking portrait of him. And I was like, I'll take it.
That's fair.
Give me it. Yeah,
because I just remember in Into the Spider-Verse, he was like, it always fits. No returns.
Eventually, yeah, and then they pan over to the side. And I was like, this is a heartfelt moment about like how to, I don't know,
everybody
like
can be a hero.
Everybody has it within them. And he's like, also, you're not getting your money back, kid. Beat it.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, Stan Lee cameo. Great.
Yes. I'll let you go.
Oh, okay. I liked Uncle Ben and Aunt May.
I guess.
I thought they had good chemistry.
Had a good back and forth.
Yes. Little witty
She
some
gives, I
banter.
take. Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you?
Meatloaf.
Who is this? But I like them together. I like them
great.
like separate. When Uncle Ben shows up at school, because Peter humiliated Flash Thompson by shattering the backboard by dunking too big on him. And he's like, "Did you humiliate that boy?" He goes right from giving Peter the business to humiliating him in front of Gwen Stacy. He's like, "Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah.
Hey, is she the one on your computer? He's got your picture on his computer."
I'm his probation officer.
Yes, I'm his probation officer. He was funny.
He was.
And
I like Martin Sheen.
honestly, when he got shot, it bummed me out.
Yeah. It was tough.
Because
he tried.
He went
tried to help.
right from that. The dude went right from that convenience store to shooting Uncle Ben. There was no like, oh,
something happened.
where else did I go? No. Yeah. Funny thing happened on the way out of the wrestling show. No, like he ran right out of that convenience store. Here's your chocolate milk, kid. I'm going to go kill your uncle. And he fell and he dropped that gun. And he's like, hey. And he got shot.
I wouldn't have did that.
No.
I wouldn't have. I'd have been like, ew.
He was wrong place, wrong time.
This thing had nothing to do with Keith.
Wrong
but
place,
he's a
wrong
good
time.
guy. I like good guys.
He was a good guy, and it
not attempting to be
didn't
one.
get him anywhere. Well, it didn't get him out of that situation, unfortunately.
That's fair.
And it always kind of makes me sad that the last thing because he did it in Tobey Maguire did it, and then Andrew Garfield does it. It's like the last thing he says to him is just something fucking mean about how he's not his dad, or something mean about his own father. But like, where is he? Where's my dad? Oh, let's talk about responsibility. What did that get him? He's not here. Where is he? How dare you? How dare I? How dare you? And then he storms out and he destroys their nice glass door.
When I think of things like that, I always think, said out of anger. Mm-hmm. You're just upset. What was the last nice thing you said?
Yeah.
And he called him a good father.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I always think about. I don't think, trying to think, upset, you can say anything.
Right.
Whether it's true, whether it's not, it's fine. But what was the last nice thing you said? If you don't say anything nice, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. Then you really weren't a nice person, or you weren't nice to that person. But he called him a good father. Mm-hmm. He didn't say you're a good uncle. He said you're a good father. And I was like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Sucks that he was upset, but life.
When he played that voicemail from him at the end of the movie,
called him his hero.
That really hit me where I live.
Now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm getting
Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben's a good man.
Yeah.
Whether it's Martin Sheen or the actor whose name I can't recall at the top of my head right now, I thought they were both good at it.
Yeah,
but Sally Field, I liked her also.
Oh, she was great.
Because she played she was good at it. She wasn't
she was somebody old.
Old, out of touch Aunt May. She was like, I know, what are you doing? What's going on? Go to bed, Aunt May. I can't sleep.
That's fair. I saw you write something at the end. She said something to him. And I thought it was something good to him. And you were like, yeah. And I was like, it was something she said specifically, and I don't remember what it was, but I was like, yeah, she's good. What she said was great. I forgot what it was, but it was good.
I think it was when he turns Gwen Stacy away at the door. It's like, oh, who is that? Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm no good for her. And she's like, if you were anything, it's good.
Yep, that's exactly what she said.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
How can I not like you? How can I not like her? Uncle Ben and Aunt May knocked it out of the park in this movie, together and separate.
That's fair.
I like them.
Okay, well, my next I wrote it down. It's getting foggy. I don't remember what I wrote. Mm-hmm. I don't remember why I wrote it. It said Gwen turned down Spider-Man. I don't remember why I wrote that. It was something about her being safe. Oh, it was when she was talking about her dad putting on the badge and not coming home. Mm. And she was like, I don't know if I can do this. She kind of was just like, eh. Yeah, they were still, but then like something happened right after that so that it didn't break up, whatever. And then after that her father died. But she was not ready to be a liability. She was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't want to have to think about you coming home every day and being alive. That's tough. And I'll get into it in my dislikes because there's something else I want to add to that, but I won't say. So yeah, that was my last. That was my last. Like, what else you got?
I wrote down that Spider-Man is a hero of the people because he is. I mean, they did it in the last ones too. Like, the people of New York love Spider-Man.
Yes,
because he helps them. The media of New York often is made to, try to get people to dislike him because J. Jonah Jameson, of course, immediately distrusts him.
fair.
And in these movies, or at least in this movie, the cops are kind of told, they're not even told. They're like, they don't really seem to like him because he's doing
Their job.
He's, some people would say that he's doing their job better than they are, which he says it to Captain Stacy.
Which should be a like for me, and I didn't write it down. I like the fact that he pushed back against him.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a cow, he's like, I have a badge, so.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a minor. What are you going to do to me? Also, I have superpowers.
Fair.
If I wasn't trying to bang your daughter, I'd pop your head off your shoulders right now, old man.
Fair.
And he could.
No, it's
could.
facts.
He could. He
But
could kill him.
I just like the fact that he was like, it seems like he's doing good. Well, you don't know what you're saying. I saw the video. That's all you saw? Like, it's always an excuse with people like him. And even though he turned it around before he died, there's still people like him who was like, well, what about the whole story? Okay, well, tell me what I see. And this guy's doing a good job. You guys can't. Well, you don't see the whole story. He was a ring of blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. But so what? Like, in my opinion, so what?
But did he know about the plan?
Because that's always the thing with cops. Like, well, he was a pawn trying to get to the king. Yeah, but your pawn is still killing people. Or your pawn is still causing harm to other people. But you're okay with that harm.
Right.
To catch somebody who is running it. Well, that's fine. But what about the harm that's dealt to me? You don't say,
right.
Hey, they never pay the people back that's been harm that got caused to.
Right.
They never go, you know what? We put you in harm's way. Let's buy you a new car because this was a car thieving ring. Or, hey, sorry, we let this guy out early to catch his boss and he killed your guy.
Right.
That's my bad. They never do that. So I don't need to know the whole story if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Yeah. Because I've already been wronged or I've already seen enough that I don't want someone else to get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just,
Yeah. I like that even though the cops and everyone else is like, oh, he's the bad guy, the people were like, no, he saved my kid from a burning car.
And even the media was actually okay with them. They were putting out stories like, oh, he's here to help and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like the media was like, it looks like he's heading here and it looks like he's hurt.
Oh, yeah,
And then that prompted the guy whose child was saved from the flaming car was like, hey, you guys, let's get those cranes in up and over them streets and we can swing over real good like.
My favorite New York sushi.
I want New York style sushi.
Just watched it.
So good. But yeah, the people have his back.
That's fair.
Even when some, like, the powers that be don't, whether it's the media or the cops in whatever version of it, like, someone always has Spider-Man's back. And it's usually the little guy because he's the one looking out for the little guy. I also wrote down that I liked Captain Stacy's freezing of the lizard and then shooting his fucking arms off.
That was great.
I thought that was awesome.
That was pretty good.
Oh, that was really cool.
I agree.
I liked it.
Same.
I also liked, it's not even about the movie, I liked that when we put this movie in to watch it, there was a preview for a movie that didn't even exist yet when this movie came out.
That's fair.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
That is so true.
And we were both like, this is a weird coincidence.
Ironically,
like,
this has happened before.
Weird thing.
This has happened before.
For us?
Yes.
With what?
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
They like to fuck with us, don't they?
Yeah.
I love it. Even if they don't even know it.
I enjoyed it.
Good times.
Those are pretty much my likes. I forgot to say it when I was talking about how much I like Spider-Man. The morning superpowers. When he woke up and he squeezed the entire tube of toothpaste onto the mirror by accident, and then he pulled the faucet handle off by accident, and then he just destroyed everything around him in the bathroom by accident.
Yes.
When he was typing and the keys got pulled off the keyboard because they were sticking to his fingers. Liked it.
Fair.
When he was when he was just discovering all his powers, even on the subway.
It's always good.
When like he put his hand on the lady's shoulder and like accidentally ripped her shirt off, and that guy took a swing at him, and he caught a fucking like pole to the chin by accident.
Listen,
I don't want any trouble. And then he beats the shit out of you. He Jackie Chan him.
I don't want to fight you, Flash.
I wouldn't want to fight me neither. I don't want to beat the shit out of you, guy in the train car. I wouldn't. Oh no, I'm unconscious. I wouldn't want to get the shit beat out of me neither. So,
speaking of, I'm gonna give it a like. Outside of that, after he fought, Flash. Well, Flash beat him up, and Gwen Stacy stopped it. And they're talking to Gwen Stacy, or he's in class with Gwen Stacy. Puts his head down. She goes, "It's a good thing you did. It was dumb, but good, because he saved the other kid from getting bullied, and he took the brunt of it." And she was like, "What's your name?" "Oh, you don't know my name." His crush was like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "You don't know my name?" She was like, "I know your name."
Oh, you know your name.
Do you know your name? Because you might have a concussion. He might have a concussion. You need to go see the nurse. He goes, huh. She's like, you still need to go see a nurse. Like, she, again, not a liability, not falling for puppy dog eyes. She's like, can you go get taken care of? And then later she takes care of him, which I thought was sweet. Because it's Emma Stone.
Because he was fucked up at that point. Like, he had that big slash across his chest. He was messed up. He was bleeding all over the place.
He was. Wipe yourself off. You did. But okay.
All right, those are all my likes.
Those are likes. Dislikes.
You go first.
I have two.
Okay.
First one's about MJ.
Miss not appearing in this film.
I did not dislike her enough. No, it's because of Gwen, honestly. It's not anything to do with this film. But Gwen literally turned down Spider-Man because she didn't want to think about him getting, being killed or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. MJ's like, no, this is great. He's like, I want to keep you safe. What? No, I can't. I'm not going to be a liability.
I'm as safe as I can be knowing your secret identity and having no way to defend myself or you.
Yeah. And you think she could have did a blowtorch? No. Because she probably could have sung her way out of it.
She would have screamed and...
Nothing.
Got kidnapped again.
She got kidnapped 3 times in those movies. 3 out of 3. 3 for 3. 100%. And... What? You know what I'm saying? Like... So, I like how they painted Gwen Stacy as different. Because she is. And in the comics, not necessarily in these movies, but she becomes Spider-Gwen.
Yup.
And I love it. And she's more than capable. Way more than capable.
Even if it is like an alternate dimension Gwen Stacy.
Perfect.
Gotta count it anyway.
Even better. But she was capable in this movie.
Yep.
Gwen Stacy was capable in the last movie.
Yeah, more than Mary Jane Watson.
She saved somebody.
Yeah.
The old girl was falling to her death, and she put her back. And then she almost fell to her death, but she saved somebody.
Yeah.
She saved one person. That's what they told the Flash. Save one person. What do I do after that? You'll know. I wouldn't have known. Flash knew, but that's why he's a superhero. And Keith
there you go.
So I just wrote MJ can't not be a liability. And then at the end, when he makes a promise to her dad, et cetera, and the family dynamic of the Stacys is mom, dad. Mom is a homemaker. She seemed like a homemaker. He's the chief of police. She has 2 little brothers. She's the only girl. So, of course, he's overprotective. He's super overprotective. Doesn't want to talk about cramps and periods and all this other stuff. You better keep her out of this at the end of the movie. And, of course, she figures it out. She's like, I know you're in love with me.
That's the other thing. She's like, he made you promise. She put it together.
She knew. Because he was up there. She was, because he came down and she was like, keep him safe. He returned. The dad didn't. And she's like, why aren't you there for me? Why aren't you? So Flash showed up. Dumbass Flash showed up. And you're cool with him now. He showed up. What's up? Why you not? Fuck. He made you promise, didn't he? Because that's something he would do. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was I was like, yes. That's what overprotective fathers, mothers, people would do. In my dying breath, promise me you're not going to fuck her. That's it. That's what they do.
It's like, yeah,
she figured it out.
Yeah, I promise. Wink.
Same.
Yeah.
So that's one. Secondly, we kind of talked about it. A couple of our friends didn't like the ending scene.
Which ending scene?
The crane scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dislike it, but I also don't know why it had to be in there. So I get why people
that's fair.
Didn't like it. And it's not really a dislike for me because I don't care.
I didn't dislike it.
But when I was thinking about it, because it's funny because I was thinking about it because it was happening. It was about to happen. I knew it was about to happen. I saw he got shot in the leg. And I was like, but why do the cranes need to line up? And then it happened, and then you said what you said about our friends, and I was like, I'm gonna write it down. Because I'm not really for sure why it needed to. I still don't know. Do you know?
No. And maybe it's just easier to swing, I guess, rather than like at the buildings and going at weird angles. But I mean, he was still swinging, so I don't know.
I guess that's fair.
That's not an explanation. That's just what I'm thinking of.
That's it. I don't dislike it necessarily.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
But I understand why people could dislike it. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't dislike it mostly because it kind of like the guy whose kid he saved returned the favor. Like it's something that happened early in the movie, came back and like mattered.
Yeah, fair.
And I was like, okay, if only for that reason, good.
Okay, that works. At least
for me, at least.
Yeah, that works for me. I mean, like I said, I don't know why, but I don't necessarily care.
Fair.
So it's not really a dislike. But because
you don't care about the scene.
I don't care the explanation.
Okay.
But because
I don't care.
I want an explanation,
for your explanation.
But I only want an explanation because people dislike it.
Right.
So I need to know why it happened, but I don't necessarily dislike it also. Like it's not really, I wouldn't have thought about it honestly. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute, why? And I know people don't I knew people didn't like that scene, so I was like, I don't know. So I guess I was trying to figure it out from their point of view. Mm. So it's this is a collective dislike, but not for me, for them. I speak for the people.
We've done this. We've done this in the past.
Yeah, fair.
Especially in Star Wars.
Yeah, speaking for the people, because I just want to know why. But for me, I don't give a shit. It happened, it worked, it looked good. Cool. The patriotic part they could have kept out, but I didn't see it because I wasn't looking. I was writing.
It was literally like a blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, good. Because you said it. You're like, you see a big flag? I'm like, no, thank God.
No, thankfully.
You, Jesus. But anyway, those are my dislikes. What do you got?
None.
0.
I don't have any.
I honestly thought you had a couple.
No. I like this one a lot.
You were writing forcefully a couple times, and I was like...
And it's all in the likes column, baby.
You wrote something, tossed the pad, and I was like, shit. Whatever it was, I was like, I like that part,
though. So did I.
I guess so. Whatever you wrote, you were very animated, and I was like...
I forget what it was.
It was a couple times. And I was like...
Sounds about right.
He doesn't like this part? I was like, oh, no.
Sounds about right.
Okay, well, that's cool, though. I like it. That makes me feel good.
Sounds like I faked Keith out.
Damn right. Got me. Let's go to Slushie Meter. I'll let you go first.
Ooh. Well, I didn't have any dislikes for it, and honestly, I haven't. The Tom Holland ones are the ones I'm probably the least familiar with because I've only seen Far From Home once, and I think I've seen Homecoming maybe start to finish maybe twice.
Okay.
This might be my favorite Spider-Man movie, to be honest with you. I'm going to give this one a 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear to God, you weren't saying that like an hour ago.
No?
Because we were talking about ranking them, and you were like, yeah, I know which ones are in my bottom.
Yeah.
And you were like, we just watched it. And
No, so we've already watched one of them.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about today.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was sad going into these recordings. I was like, oh, damn.
He's going to hate it.
Because then, coupled with the forceful writing, I was like, I don't know what he's going to say.
I got him, I guess. I wasn't trying to.
I know.
I wasn't trying to Jamie Kennedy anybody. But let me tell you, I guess I did. Because, no, I love this. This one's a 5. This might be my favorite Spider-Man movie.
I'm happy.
Good. Good.
This, I don't even know if I have a favorite Spider-Man movie, to be fair. There's not, I haven't seen this movie in so long. I would watch it again, but if we're talking about hero movies, it wouldn't be my first pick. And Spider-Man was always great for me, but he wasn't, I'm not gonna say he wasn't. I could have cared less about Marvel, except for X-Men. I loved X-Men, but that's it though.
Like pre-MCU.
Yeah, like before, like when I was a child. Honestly, for me, it was Batman and Superman. To be fair, but you know, let's not talk about that. So today, man, I want to say 4. I kind of want to give it a 4.5, but I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say 4.5, and I'm only giving it a 4.5 because this next one, I'm not gonna give it some good marks. Okay,
Hey, if they don't deserve it, they don't get it.
it deserves it, but eventually, I like revenge. Spider-Man might not, Uncle Ben might not, but Keith does. And guess what?
We talked about that during this movie.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, you're like, you never gotten revenge? Well, I don't think I really have ever gotten revenge on somebody.
I don't think I have either, but the ones I have, it was delicious. And I loved it. And I feel like Kelly. And I am keeping it. And I am going to give it bad marks because of one scene and one scene only.
And podcast faithfuls know what that scene is, I think. 'Cause I'm almost certain we talked about it numerous times in the past.
3 times this episode.
But I mean, like, even before we even watched Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. So 4.5 for me. Be just off because I kind of want to give it a 4, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Just that bump, just a little bump, little John Van Damme bump. Just he's over.
Yeah, all under the vest.
Just yeah. So yeah, that's it. Anything else we glossed over? Anything else we missed?
I like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just wait till we do the Ninja Turtle movies. I got one for you there too.
I'm not entertaining this. Whatever this is, I'm not entertaining this. I refuse to entertain this. Whatever this is.
Gestures in my direction.
Yes. This is you. This is the talent being the talent. I love it.
I don't understand this. He's gestured at all of me.
Either way. So that's it for the cast review of The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
Stay tuned next week for The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Literally. Fucking that's it. That's all I got. Watch Harvey come from out of nowhere. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
What's up?
Harvey. Harry. Sorry, not Harvey.
Yeah.
Harry. I wanted to call him Harvey earlier. I was like, that's not his name. But I thought Harvey.
He's not even mentioned in this movie.
Not even. And somehow they're best friends in the next movie. They are. They hang out outside of work. They hang out.
They got jobs?
No. Well, the son did. Harry did.
They're kids.
Right.
You want a job?
That's why I need explanations.
Why would I want a job? I'm a kid.
Same. Yeah.
Why would I want a job? I'm an adult.
Another dislike. J. Jonah Jameson wasn't in this.
Yeah.
Which I get why he couldn't have been.
Also, no Macho Man.
Well,
I also get why he wasn't in it.
at the time,
Yeah.
was he dead?
Yeah. I
When did
believe
he
so.
die?
Wow, now I gotta look.
I thought he died like in the past 5 years.
No,
It's been a while.
it's been more than that.
Wow.
Let's look, because this one, when did we discover that this movie came out?
12.
All right.
1912.
So Amazing Spider-Man came out in 2012.
Yeah.
Macho Man. Macho Man.
There it is. I knew I can get it out of him.
He died in 2011.
Wow.
I didn't know he was from Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
It says born November 15th, Columbus, Ohio in 1952.
Nice.
Nice. Macho Man, the sky's the limit, yeah. I am the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Sky's the limit, space is the place, yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. The talent. Either way, hit up that Patreon so we can get Chris
Some medication.
Get him out here. We gotta get him out here.
Get him out of here.
We gotta
Get him.
out of here.
Get him out of my house.
No, we need to market Chris for voice acting. That's it. Simple and plain. He can be the next Kevin Michael Richardson.
Oh,
See? It's good.
I don't deserve that.
He can be the next Job. Lego
I
Batman.
don't deserve that either.
Damn it. He can be the next
I haven't done anything to deserve anything on those levels.
Bruce Buffer.
Who is that?
There you go. Let's get out of this. We have nothing else. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at Slushie Review, and follow us wherever podcasts are found. And if there's nothing else, this has been Keith,
And Chris?
and we'll see you also tomorrow, maybe.